Shalom, shalom, praise the Lord. What a beautiful Saturday morning. I just want to speak to you from the event at the wedding of Cana. Uh, you know, whenever we organize an event, basically our intention is that we would create an extraordinary impression on the hosts and something that would be remembered for life. But when you look at this event, you come across a moment where instead of creating an impression that would be good, they almost ran into an impression that was embarrassing. People would remember it for all the wrong reasons. They did their best. It was not that they lacked in anything. They did their best, but they ran out of, in spite of putting everything together, all the resources. They still ran out of an essential element that needed to be served to the guests. And there's nothing more embarrassing than that, actually. When you invite people and you're not able to offer them something, that you need to offer, an essential element. And it was not that they didn't put their resources together, but unfortunately it tells us that no matter how much we invest, how many resources we put on the line, sometimes our resources are always inadequate. Sometimes may fall short. And many people, in the process of creating this impression, end up into depression. They're striving so hard, they're putting everything together, all their resources, all the energy, all the everything. And then they run into a situation that surprises everybody. But thanks be to God, and this really emphasizes the point that instead of trusting in our resources, we need to put Jesus into the mix. And thank God that at the event of Cana, Jesus was there. He was able to deal with that inadequacy, with that embarrassment that would have happened otherwise. So Jesus told them a very simple thing. Now that He is there, He's there is a good thing. But if He's there and we don't obey what He is saying, then it's not going to make much of a difference, right? So He tells them, just get some water. Just get some water. Now many people could have argued with Him and things like that, I'm sure people would have, even in that event. But anyway, long story short, the water came and God touched it and transformed it. It teaches me that when we obey God, when Jesus is in the mix of whatever we are doing, even if we run into an embarrassing situation, He is there to bail us out. The point is then that we need to obey Him and listen to what He has to say. It's not that He is just there and then we disobey Him. It will not make a difference. That won't solve the problem. So I believe the Lord is telling us today, whatever we are, we bring our vanilla self to Him. We bring our blandness like water, that He would change it into something that is exuberant. And when He touches it, when He deals with those situations, that's when we have this wow moment. People say, wow, where was this? Where was this? The thing that we tried to create with our resources, we were unable to. We ran into an embarrassing situation. But when we released and obeyed and let God deal with it, let Jesus deal with it, that's when it created an impression, an impact that was unforgettable. And the same thing the Lord is telling us today. Whatever you are dealing with, whatever you are trying to plan in your life, and the resources that you are trying to put together, that you would create this wow, this impression on people. saying, just come to me, that I would transform it, I would restore it, I would make it that great, impressionable moment that people would remember. So I leave this thought with you. If you are stressing out, creating something great, don't stress out. Instead, just obey God. Release it to Jesus Christ, that He would touch it and He would transform it and He would create this brilliant, excellent moment that people would remember all their life, which would never be possible no matter how many resources we deploy. God bless you all. Love you all. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.